of them, but now 8 of those teenagers have been charged with murder after beating a fellow student to death at a high school in Las Vegas. 17-year-old Jonathan Lewis was attacked by a mob of students and found unresponsive in an alleyway near the school before he was taken to the hospital. He died in the hospital the following week. Lewis's father says his son was targeted in the brawl after rushing to help another student who was being bullied and picked on. Now, where's the outrage over this murder? You can't go a day without seeing a new video emerge of a brutal fight taking place in some American school. Where are Democrats? The politicians that spent decades using children as props are now silent when tragedy happens that doesn't fit their agenda.
When people ask me what are the 3 most important issues facing the Congress,
I hate
from
this
my whole
woman.
time in Congress, I've always said the same thing. Our children, our children, our children.
Okay, so Nancy has used that as a rallying cry for years. When there's a school shooting, Democrats practically race with each other to be the first one to call for a nationwide gun ban. But when kids are beaten to death by gang students across the country, no one lifts a finger. Lest we forget, the president's wife, Dr. Jill Biden, is a teacher. With how much Joe talks about that, you'd think he'd be the nation's biggest student advocate.
I'm Joe Biden, Joe Biden's husband. Jill is the country's first lady to work full-time teaching while doing her
That's
duties
bullshit,
as
too.
First Lady, as a community college professor in Virginia. And I tell you what, she's a proud member of her union as well.
It's been over a week since Jonathan Lewis was killed, and the White House hasn't said a word. If a mob of white students beat a black teenager to death, Joe Biden would be giving an Oval Office address about how racist our country is. It would be an address that would inspire riots across this country. But when the reverse happens, it's crickets. And remember, this entire incident was filmed. The fight wasn't picked up on some nearby security camera or taped by a random bystander. It was filmed by another student who showed up to watch the beatdown that they knew was going to happen, like it was some kind of pay-per-view event. And this isn't an isolated event. New videos emerged of a different beating that took place in California, where a 16-year-old girl was assaulted in a bathroom while a crowd of spectators stood around filming and cheering.
It's terrible.
But this time it wasn't just students. One of the school's security guards was in the crowd, and he seemingly did nothing but stand by and smile as the attack unfolded. It doesn't seem like anyone cares about our kids. Nowadays, if one kid makes fun of another one online, it becomes a scandal with automatic suspensions. But if you beat the living crap out of someone on school grounds, well, don't expect the police to call up unless you call them yourself. Joining me now, attorney Brian Claypool, who represents the 16-year-old girl attacked in that video, and Lupe Fajardo, the victim's mother. Lupe, first of all, our thoughts are with your daughter. I hope she's recovering from this incident. Tell me, how did this come to you? How did you learn of what happened at the school to your daughter?
How did I learn?
Yes.
Is that I have to, I'm still learning. I still don't understand why didn't took no action. The security guard didn't do anything. The school didn't do anything.
The guard was standing there. That's really sick.
And I think Brian is helping me a lot on this case because it's hard for me to watch this video. It's hard for me to see his reaction, that he's laughing about it. He's having fun, and that's something that I don't understand. I don't understand.
Wow,
now.
that's the security guard?
It's hard for me.
And he's laughing.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we can all hear
I hope
that
he was
in
fine,
your voice, Lupe.
because
Any of us that have children can also identify with that fear in your voice, that sadness. How is your daughter doing now?
It's terrible.
She's getting therapy. She can even, me and her, I think we're the same. Like right now we're trying to, what I want to do is try to get her out of this, like think something different, but it's hard. It's hard for me, it's hard for her, it's hard for everybody. All my family, we're the same.
Yeah. Brian, I'll go to you now.
Where was this happen?
You've taken on this case.
California.
What has been the response from the school, especially considering, as Lupe brings up, the role of that security guard in this incident?
Hey, Will, great to be back with you. Yeah, the response from the school is pathetic, and that's a compliment. I mean, this school and how they've handled this, Will, is just deplorable. There's a legal doctrine in California and in most school districts across the country. It's called in loco parentis. What that means is school officials stand in the shoes of parents. They're supposed to treat the students as if they were their own children. And here we have a security guard who, it almost looked like he was taking tickets for all the kids, boys and girls that come in the bathroom. Let me take tickets. I'm surprised he didn't take.
That was in the bathroom? The security guard was in there too?
And there he is
Yeah,
standing
I
and
understand
smiling.
that.
And guess what, Will? He was sent to another school. I wrote a letter to George Gascon, the district
They just
attorney
moved
in
to
LA
another
County,
school.
asking this security guard
From
to be
Gascon.
prosecuted for contributing to the delinquency of minors. And
He
what does the
wouldn't
school do?
prosecute anybody.
They transfer him to another school.
Well, I know that you've put the school on notice, and if you don't hear back, and there's not some action taken, or they don't have a response, that you have the ability, and I imagine you'll be looking at pursuing a suit against the school. Look, Brian, we want to keep up with this case as you guys move along. Thank you for telling us about it tonight. Lupe, we wish you and your daughter the very best in her recovery.
Thank you.
For sharing your story.
Terrible.
Thank you, Rob.
All right, New York City aspiring cops